50-year mortgages. Are they the solution to America's housing crisis or just another band-aid that's going to make things worse? Today, we're covering the proposal of the new 50-year mortgage, along with the math behind it, and what it could actually do to home prices, equity, and the future of the housing market. So let's start with the announcement. The idea of the 50-year mortgage is officially being floated as a new tool to improve housing affordability. On top of that, President Trump recently posted about a proposed policy that would allow homeowners to carry their interest to a new home. More on that later. So why extend to the 50-year mortgage? The simple reason is lower monthly payments, which means more people could afford homes. By stretching the loan over 50 years instead of 30, your monthly payment drops, and that sounds good on the surface, right? So does this actually make homes more affordable? Technically, yes. The monthly payment goes down, but there's a real question. Does lowering the monthly payment actually make housing cheaper? Or does it just raise the price of the home to match whatever people can afford? So here we're going over a home price of $425,000. It's pretty close to the median home price. We're going to go with a down payment of 10%. I looked it up. On average, for a first-time home buyer, down payments are around 9%. This is for a 30-year loan with an average current interest rate of 6.25%. So as you can see here, the monthly payment is around $23.55. Down payment is $42,000. Total is around $847,000 for the cost of the loan, and total interest here is approximately $465,000 with a payoff date of November of 2055. Now let's compare that to the 50-year mortgage. So looking here at the 50-year mortgage, the only thing we changed was the loan term. Same price of $425,000, interest rate at 6.25%. So looking at the monthly payment, it's around $2,084. Right here you can see a total of 600 mortgage payments, which total up to about $1.25 million. Total interest of $868,000 and a payoff date of November of 2075. So looking at the difference of monthly payments between the 30-year and the 50-year mortgage, it's about $271 in this example. Extra interest paid is about over $400,000, and you're in debt for an extra 20 more years. Let's take a look at the difference. Monthly savings is around $270 saved. Extra interest is approximately $400,000, and you're in debt for an extra 20 more years. So yeah, your monthly payment drops, but in the long term, your cost explodes. What does this look like in real life? So here's the problem. Most people don't stay in their homes for 30 years. The average length of home ownership is around 7 to 8 years. So with a 50-year mortgage, your equity buildup is much slower. You barely touch the principal. And when you go to sell, your equity is tiny. So after paying all the closing costs, the agent fees, taxes, repairs, preparation, and moving costs, you might walk away with nothing, or you might owe money. So with less equity, you have less financial power. Equity is how people build up wealth, borrow HELOCs, fund renovations, upgrade into better homes, and pay for emergencies. But with a 50-year mortgage, your equity grows extremely slow, and your ability to borrow from your home basically disappears. So when do you pay off your house? Looking at it, the median home buyer age in the U.S. currently is 40 years old. And for repeat buyers, it's 58. So if someone buys at 40, they finish paying their home off at 90. And if they're 58, they finish paying at 108 years old. Are people supposed to be paying mortgages into their 90s and their hundreds? It's unrealistic because that's when you're supposed to be retired. So what's the 50-year mortgage going to do to the housing market? In my opinion, the 50-year mortgage won't lower prices. It will just raise prices to match what people can afford monthly. Because buyers don't buy home prices, we buy monthly payments. So if people can suddenly afford an $1,800 a month payment instead of $2,400, sellers will raise the price right up to that limit. So instead of making homes cheaper, it pushes prices even higher. So is the 50-year mortgage actually going to help anyone? So unless home builders create a massive amount of new housing, the 50-year mortgage won't improve affordability. It will just increase demand, increase competition, increase prices, increase total interest paid, reduce your equity, and trap people in long-term debt. So does it help? The long answer, short, is no. And it just kicks the problem down the road. What would actually fix affordability? To actually fix it, the U.S. has to have more housing supply, allow for faster permitting and zoning, construction costs need to go lower, there needs to be more starter homes, incentives for builders to build lower cost homes need to be in place, and there needs to be interest rate stability. So these actually move the needle. 50-year mortgages do not. President Trump also mentioned the idea of letting homeowners carry their interest rate to their new home. This would help because right now millions of homeowners are stuck with a 3% rate and can't move without jumping to 7%. This has frozen inventory and made housing markets stall. If people could carry the rate, most people would list, more homes would hit the market, more supply lowers prices, more transactions happen, and the market unfreezes. This idea has real potential. With all the cost, is a 50-year mortgage worth it? Let's be honest, between your down payment, your slow equity growth, your holding period, selling costs of 6 to 8%, and the massive amount of interest, there may not be any financial gain left when you sell. So, if there's even a point in buying a 50-year mortgage, for most people, probably not. Not unless home prices drop significantly, which a 50-year mortgage actually prevents. So that's the current status of the new 50-year mortgage proposal. Lower monthly payments today, but massive cost tomorrow. What do you think? Would you ever take on a 50-year mortgage, or is it just another way to pump home prices? Drop a comment. I reply to everyone. Like the video if you found value, and subscribe for more breakdowns on financial news that actually matters.